frequencies. We are all frequencies. We are just vibrational beings, and we're here having a human existence rather than a spiritual existence. So we literally are spiritual beings having a human existence. So it's interesting how I talk to a lot of my clients that may very well have partners that they feel may not be on the same spiritual wavelength as them. Now, the thing is, if we're all frequency, we're all energy, we're all spiritual beings, then we're actually born to be awakened into that in our human existence. So you'll find that you working on yourself will lift other people around you, relationships, partners, people in your life, friends and family. So if you want someone else to change, you be the change. If you want the world to be a happier, safer place, you start being happier and safer. And how you do that is you change your frequency. So you may have seen the experiment with like a tuning fork. There's the experiment with a tuning fork where you hold two tuning forks. You hold one completely still and, you bang the other one on something so it's actually vibrating. And when it comes close to the still tuning fork, it has no choice but to start vibrating exactly the same. So in that vibration, it pulls it in to vibrate the same. So if we're talking about frequency with people, you walk into a room, for example, and you can feel the frequency, you can feel the vibration, you can feel if there's been, a light-hearted conversation has taken place, or maybe it's took a turn for the worse and there might have been an argument, but you can feel that because they're vibrating like this and you walk into it so you can feel it. Now, the trick here is for you to hold your vibration so that you mimic what happens around you. You don't get sucked into the low vibrational bullshit. You come back to home, which is your heart. So I'm going to channel spirit today, and I'm going to bring through your frequency readings about what's going on with your personal energy and maybe some tips and tricks that they're going to give you how to change it to up level, because in order for us to change the frequency of the collective, we need to start with ourselves, and that's what this reading is for. So thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, all those algorithm things, and let's get to it. I'm using the frequency tarot. It is Teal Swan. She is an absolute wealth of knowledge. And here is your card number one. Now, the card number one is confidence. So if you take a good look at this beautiful image, you can see a lot of colors that are bursting through, but you can also see that eye's opening up. So at the moment, your frequency is shifting from a bit of a low spell. There's been a lot of doubt. I know I'm clearing my throat, so there's something here that needs to be said, and you're scared of what will happen. Now, there's something that you need to share, and it may not very well be with somebody else. It can certainly just be for yourself. Now, remember, these are general readings, so take what resonates. But with this card, it's all about standing in your truth, standing in your confidence. So it's time that you literally come out with what you are holding back with absolute confidence. Now, I was talking with a client just yesterday in regards to the difference between self-esteem and confidence. There's two different things, in my opinion. I know growing up, I was always confident, but I lacked multiple amounts of self-esteem. So I would come into a room, I'd take over, I'd be like, yeah, I'm here, let's party, or whatever that might have been. And I would lift the frequency to that. But when it came down to it, I was hiding behind the bravado. There was stuff going on inside me that was stuff that I wasn't willing to address, stuff that I was ignoring, stuff that, you know, if somebody pointed out to me, I would get triggered, and then I'd go home with it and hold on to it and, you know, go over it for days and days and work out why I was feeling the way I was. And it was purely because I didn't have that self-belief. I didn't believe in myself. I could be confident, I could show up, I could do public speaking, I could do all those things. But when I had to take a real good look at myself, that's where it was my downfall. I could look outside, which is really interesting because you've got the eye. So I know this is I wanted to say resonating for you, but it's not the word. This is almost taking you back somewhere. It's taking you back. So I don't want to say the word trigger, but I feel like I want to say trigger. So if you feel triggered here, just breathe through it, because it's a safe space. Because spirit, when I do these readings, I'm channeling. So this is spirit coming through to you. And when they bring the messages and you've been drawn to card number 1 today, you need to trust that process and trust this message is for you. Because I feel like you might be going right now, oh, this message is not mine, I'll go for number 2 and number 3. But I want you to come back and trust that 1 is for you today, because it shows me the eye. So when you see things differently, everything's going to change here. And it's that confidence that needs to come. Now I'm just going to pull a few more cards out of the Soul's Journey deck. This was the one that I was pulled toward to get some more information, just to give a bit of clarification on this message for you. And it's the Judgment. So it makes so much sense. And I'll read it to you. It says, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So you feel that the past is really taking a front seat here for you. And it's allowed to now take a back seat, because it doesn't define who you are anymore. It's sort of like you're cutting cords with the past. You're not that school kid in a classroom being put under the microscope and being pointed at, because that's the energy that I feel that Spirit's saying it's okay to let that go now. It's okay to let that go, because that had to happen for you to be this absolute superstar that you're becoming. And it's like you're not owning it, you're not sitting in that just yet, but Spirit's here to say it's okay. They're going to help you, because you're going to be able to see things differently, and that's what's going to change everything. When you see things differently, you're going to realize that you actually do have that self-esteem that's backing that confidence, and you're going to be able to start admitting the truth. Now, this year, and you know, 2023 is all about the planetary alignments of truth, of everything from the deepest, darkest secrets that are coming up and out. And it could be years ago. It could be, you know, through the governments of different countries. It could be, you know, truths of your childhood, of your parents, your ancestors, that type of thing. The energy is really bringing that to the surface so that we all can let go of that stuff, accept that stuff, and just let ourselves be okay with that stuff, because it's no longer going to take hold of our future. And the confidence card is absolutely fantastic for you, because it's giving you permission to now say whatever it is, or admit whatever it is that you've been hiding or holding on to. And if you don't want to put it out there, you can just say it to Spirit, but just get it out of your physical vessel, out of your body. Because the next step for you is showing up. And I know it just feels general, but I just want to just get one more card just to let you know what's happening with this massive shake-up of frequency in you. It's about your relationships. It's relationships with self, relationships with others. It's like up until now you've been able to really prevent yourself from connecting, because you'll play out in your head what's going to happen next. You know, you'll say something and you'll stop, because you don't want somebody to react, or you don't want to be, you know, rejected or told you're wrong or anything like that. But it's really interesting because your frequency is changing just listening to this reading. You're stepping into that part of yourself that is allowing you. Now, I know I'm holding on to my ring here, so I know that there may be a relationship challenge, whether or not there's you're going your separate ways, or there's doubts around a relationship that's on your mind. And remember, this may not resonate for all of you, but I feel like there's something, and this will be a small amount of you that this will sit with. There's something that needs to be said in a relationship, and the thing is, you have to do it to balance your frequency. And if you don't, nothing will change. But you're so scared of losing that person if you say it. But I'm here to say the Spirit's got your back. They will support you through it, because if you do not say it, you will lose yourself. And that is where you're at. But know the Spirit's got you, and your frequency is really lifting into a beautiful, confident space. And you are that vibration that walks into the room, that shows up, because people are drawn to you. They're drawn to you. But there's a little bit of tweaking that needs to happen so that when they are drawn to you, you actually enjoy it, and you actually feel worthy of it. And that is your card reading for the frequency card number 1. Okay, frequency tarot number 2. Your card is uniqueness. You are super, super different. You are unusual, super, super unique. And that is your superpower. That is what makes you here. It feels like people are over here and you're here. So there's something here that you've always felt alone, disconnected, and you've looked at it as if it's a bad thing. So in this uniqueness, it's time for you to harness it. It's time for you to make yourself the point of difference. Whenever we talk marketing, whenever we talk about, you know, our target market or business, we always talk about the point of difference. We always talk about a niche. And, you know, because I do so many personal, you know, so many things in my business. I'm an EFT practitioner. I have my YouTube channel. I do spiritual mentorships. I do retreats. I do platform where I stand and, you know, do messages from spirit. I teach Reiki, you know, a million different things. I run workshops. I have an online course, and all these different things. And the thing is, what's my niche? My niche is connecting with spirit, trusting and helping people vibrate at a frequency of love. And then what happens is they lift others. Now you, my friend, are still working out your niche, but here's the trick. Your niche is just you, being you, because your uniqueness is absolutely mind-blowing. Now it's time you realize that this is an absolute gift, just being you. And that's your challenge, because you feel like you need more. You need to do another course. You need to learn more. But those people know this, and you're comparing yourself. And the thing is, my darling, stop comparing, because nobody's like you. It doesn't matter what their qualifications are. It doesn't matter what their experience is. It doesn't matter all this stuff. You've got it just in being born. Oh, geez, that's amazing. Now, there's a little bit of a poor me mentality that has been peppering through the last couple of years for you. Okay, so we've all had that because we've been through a pandemic and all the rest of it, but it's been different. It's been to the point of, you know, and it won't resonate with all of you, but there's a bit of self-destruction going here, whether it be substance abuse or, you know, just not giving yourself any love whatsoever, like starving yourself of nutrients, of sustenance, of nourishment in different ways. And this may be something that you're not actually aware of, and this may be a wake-up call, but Spirit is here to say that You've been punishing yourself purely for being you. You've been punishing yourself purely for being you. What the actual fuck? Seriously, what the actual fuck? Spirit is here to share with you that it is time for you to realize how different you are and embrace that. Because that, my darling, is the frequency that will change everything. 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 Let's see. Let's get some more information on this. I feel like I'm giving you a big kick up the ass, but I know that you are ready for it. Ta-da! Because you are simply love. Your frequency is love. And you can give it out to everyone. And I feel like you have moments of gratitude for how blessed you are. I don't doubt that. You know it. But it's usually for the external stuff, not the internal stuff that you're grateful for. So I want you to shift your focus now on just being you. The fact that your body carries you through this world. You know, your legs help you move forward. And I feel like there may be aches and pains in your body when I tune into your body. You know, doctors have suggested this, that, and the other, but you're the creator of your reality. Don't get diagnosed and that's that. Because every single every single ailment in this whole wide world has been cured 100% by at least one person, purely through that intention. I would suggest that you maybe look into Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza's work as well. He really lifted me out of a real dark space a couple of years ago. Helped me heal things the doctor said were existent. 3 months later were not. So remember, you are the owner of your reality. So in order for you to get the love, we let go of the blame. Because there's a self-sabotaging behaviour here that you're really punishing yourself for being you. You're blaming yourself for things that are completely out of your control. And it's like I feel that, you know, some of you may have lost someone recently. I feel spirit very close to you. And there's an aspect of you, you know, taking all the responsibility as to why this person passed or this person left. Doesn't necessarily have to be a passing, but I do feel that I've got spirit here for you. But when you really sit down and you're rational, you'll realise the parts you played, but it wasn't your fault. Two different things. When you realise the parts you played and say that's why this person has left, this person has died, this person has gone, you really shake up the frequency to a low vibe. But love, when you sit in that gratitude of love and you realise how blessed you are to even have had this person in your life in the first place to make you who you are, you're going to be able to start putting the pieces back together and lifting that frequency of who you truly are, because your uniqueness sets you apart from the rest. You have wonderful things to accomplish in your future. And it's time that you start focusing on that future. I feel like I need to get you one more card, and it's a different deck. Let's see. I know you've lost big, but remember what you gained in having it in the first place and how that's going to help you. And I also say this to some people, and I haven't said it for a long time, but I feel it's necessary. When our loved ones die, part of us dies with them. But remember, we're still alive. They're not. So live for them. Live for them. You've got too much to offer. Service card. Now this one, these are beautiful mandala cards. I don't know if you can see that properly, but at the bottom it just says service. So you've always been a service to everybody else. They've always come to you, you've always been able to help just like this. You know the solutions, you know that, but when it comes to you, you struggle. And Spirit's here to say you're a lot of things to a lot of people, but now it's time to do it for yourself. Share that uniqueness. Allow yourself to stop pretending to be someone else, because you've got a lot of hats. So you can be a chameleon. You can be this person, this person, this person. As the minute someone needs it, you become that. So now it's time to use all your skills, everything you've learned from everybody you've loved and lost and loved and still have and will love in the future. But know there is a future. That's the main thing here. And focus on what you need, because you're not that person in the schoolyard anymore getting pointed at. That's what the analogy I'm getting anyway, or the vision, and it's not for everybody, but the same energy. So you, my beautiful, have this beautiful uniqueness. Spirit's here to say they've got you. Start speaking, sharing. You've got this. And that is your reading for card number 2. Card number 3, we have the Comfort card. Now, what stands out the most is 12. And 2 plus 1, or 1 plus 2 is 3. So I feel like there's a situation for you that you feel a little bit threatened in relationships. That's what I'm getting, where there's, you know, 2's company, 3's a crowd type of feel. So if this is like career based, it's like there's too many cooks in the kitchen. If it's at home, I feel like there's too much input from too many directions. There's not enough scheduling. It feels a bit frantic in this frequency that I'm tuning into with card number 3. Now, the thing is, you like comfortable. You like safety. I mean, we all do, but there's an aspect to it where without it, you feel like a fish out of water, too much energy flying around that's out of your control. And at the moment, this real energy that I'm feeling in your situation is a little bit unsafe. And that's very much a frequency. So I was working with my mentor the other week, and I was thinking about something that I thought I had worked on. Now, even though I had worked on it, the energy of it was still rearing its head. So I feel like there's different patterns that you've created in your past that, yeah, you've done the work, you've faced it, you've accepted it, you've worked through it and all this type of thing, but there's an aspect to another layer that is smashing you in the face at the moment. And it's not so much that you haven't worked for it, it's just that the energy lingers. The energy of those events linger. So in this aspect that you've created, you're feeling a little bit like a fish out of water. There's too much input, there's too many people coming at you, and it's just that you need to rely on yourself and stop asking for people's opinions when you truly don't want them. It's almost like you go to make a decision and then you just go, oh, but what do you think? And then when you get people's input, it throws you off center again, and you're getting too much information at once. It's like you've got this beautiful funnel of information. There's too many things going in it, and you're becoming quite heady. There's too much going on in your head. And when we do this, it's really hard to connect with spirit. It's too hard to get our downloads. It's too hard to get a clear direction, and you're going into the fear mentality. Now, comfort is a beautiful place to be, but you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone because you're up leveling to a new frequency right now. You're up leveling. And when we up level, we need to let go of the old stuff to make room for the new, which means the old stuff you thought you were done with is coming up so hard and fast right now. I just want to go, like it's just too much. But you'll never be given too much. You'll never be given in this world, you know, too much that you can't handle it, because that's the way it works. We can only ever be given the amounts of pressure that we can deal with. Now, the thing is, you need to go out of your comfort zone to set the boundaries, to set the me time. It's very important that you stop with these thoughts and really put it where it belongs, because there's too much coming at you too fast and you're not taking the time to really work out why you're being this way, why it's not making sense, why it's messy, because you're too messy energetically. So what needs to happen is you need to take a pen and paper, write down everything that is too much, and then sit with it and feel the energy of that. Give it a color, give it an emotion, give it, really single it out and make it an object. And with that object, find where it sits in your body. For example, if you have someone at the moment that just will not shut up in your ear, wanting, and you just don't have any more to give, you are absolutely at your wit's end. Shut up. Leave me alone. There's nothing more I have. I want you to sit with the energy of that. Now, this is an example, so tune into what it is that's too much for you at the moment. And I want you to sit with that. And I want you to give it an energy, give it a frequency. Just feel it for a moment. Give it a color. Where does it sit in your body? Bring it close, and where does it sit? Give it a shape. And I want you to, you know what? I'm an EFT practitioner. Let's tap. Your reading is a tapping reading. I've never done this before. And I want you to just say, even though I feel this way, I'm going to breathe through it. Even though I feel this way, I'm allowed to feel this way. I'm giving myself permission to move through it. Even though I have this sitting right inside my being, I'm allowed to give myself permission to heal it, even though it's just the energy of my past and it's really coming up for me big time. I'm allowing myself to work through it. It's just remnants of energy. It's not my reality, but it feels real right now. And I'm just going to take this moment to soothe and comfort myself. How's that? Comfort. Didn't even realize that. Soothe and comfort myself. Very clever. Even though I'm carrying this old stuff in my body. And if you're driving along and can't tap right now, you can still say it with me, but come back to this video and do the tapping, because we're moving energy. That's all it is. As I tap, I move the energy of this feeling of everything being too much. As I tap, I'm moving through the energy of everybody expecting so much out of me. It's really hard to say no when I love people so deeply. It's really hard to feel this energy and be present. Everything seems so much at the moment. But it's time that I soothe and comfort myself, because it's okay, I feel this way. I'm allowed to feel this way. And there has been times where I feel that I haven't been protected enough. I haven't felt safe. Just under here. There's been times in my past where people haven't shown up for me. No wonder I feel this way. It's hard to rely on others. There's so much coming at me right now. And it's all right that I feel this way. And I'm okay moving through this energy, because it's just energy. And when I tap, I allow myself the space to heal. I'm taking the time to soothe and comfort myself today. Now just close your eyes and just feel into your body and feel that energy of too much going on and that one thing that's out of your control the most. See if you can feel it in your body. the colour, the vibration. See if it's still there, or see if it's moving. It could move to different places. And I want you to come back and revisit this and keep doing it. Rewind it now if you need to. And just keep doing it. It might take 1 or 2 times. It might take 20. Just keep doing it until you feel that pressure release. Because you, my friend, are all about the comfort. You love feeling safe. And right now you're feeling unsafe because you're up leveling. You're going to the next level of your frequency. And you can't take that stuff with you. So even though it's stuff you've worked on, it's still lingering. Work through it. Whoa, okay. Oh, you got the same card as, I think, 2. You feel good when you can help others. And that's what's really blocking you. That's the frequency that's blocking you at the moment. The fact that you've got nothing else. You've got no solution. That's it, because you're exhausted. So you keep tapping through so that you can be of service again. But you can't be service for anybody else unless you work it out first for yourself. Remember, I am an EFT practitioner and I can do Zoom sessions. I do have other YouTube tapping videos that you can follow along with, but reach out. Because for you to up-level neatly and not so messily, this is the invitation for you to keep working through it, because the fact that you can't help others is blocking you. But in order for you to do that, obviously you've got to help yourself. Blah, 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 blah. And finally, the loneliness will shift. The loneliness will shift. If you can't be of service, you feel like there's this unworthiness that you're no good to anybody. But it will shift. And you're never alone. You've got spirit. But you need to clear out that channel. And that's why it feels you've been disconnected a little bit. You can't trust. But once you clear that headspace, that funnel with everything going in, you'll be able to feel more connected. You have your downloads. You'll feel one and wholesome again. And that is your comfort. You're up-leveling and it ain't comfortable and it ain't pretty. But just keep working on yourself to smooth that transition into that next frequency, because that's where you're at, my friend, and it's very exciting. But you do need to do a little bit of work and a little bit of self-love here. People can't do this one for you. It's got to be you. And that is your reading for card number 3. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all those algorithm things. Take a look at all the services that I provide nowadays. I've got beautiful retreats coming up in Victoria, in Melbourne, Victoria. There's one coming up in April called Heal the Healer. And that's for the healer in us, because we're all empaths, we're all nurturers. And it's time that we take the time for ourselves. There's online courses where you can, well, an online course, an intuition course. There's lots of different aspects that I like to give to help everybody have the tools to work on themselves and not rely on everybody else. And there's times where we need other people to kickstart us. And that may very well be a time for you. But I enhance you, I empower you, and you get the tools to keep running on this journey of life. Thank you for tuning in. See you all next time. Be kind to others, but especially be kind to yourself. Peace out.